What is up, everybody? It is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 048, Saturday, October 31st.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
That's the end of that bit. That is all I had planned for that. So, yeah, Halloween. You know what? I was never a big Halloween guy. So,
I was a big Halloween kid. Now that I'm an adult, there was a point in my life where like I'd go to Halloween parties and like get fucked up. But now that I'm like an adult,
yeah.
My buddy's having a Halloween party for his kid, and my wife and I are going to that. Like that's what my adult life turned into.
Yeah, those are always fun. But I don't know. I always hated like dressing up and shit. And like shitty costumes that would like rip and tear as soon as you like did like a move or some shit.
Where are you getting your costumes from? McDonald's?
No, you know, like side of the road, like they'll a costume shop will just pop up. You know, 'tis the season. And I fucked up one time when I was in the military. Still, I went and got I got a Michael Jackson Thriller costume. And I wore it out to one of our like drill like meetings. Yeah. And they were doing this event for like zombies in the park or some shit. And they saw me wearing the costume and they were like, "Oh, perfect. You can be Michael Jackson and you can lead everyone in Thriller." And I was like, oh no.
Now you're like the center of attention. Like, I gotta like look up the Thriller dance now.
Yeah, so I like taught myself to dance. And fucking dude, I had fucking nailed that dance too. Like in practice, nailed that fucking dance, dude. And then like when the event comes, they play the song. They played the goddamn music video version of the song, which is like 27 minutes long. It is not what I practiced to. So
oh no. Oh no.
So when it came on, there's just a bunch of like downtime in the song where just like nothing's happening.
Yeah, because there's a fucking movie playing.
Yeah. So I'm like, dude, but we pulled it out. It ended up fine. But yeah. So yeah.
That's fantastic. That is so funny. That is really funny. It sucks that it happened to you, but it's funny to hear it happen.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck thinks, like, hey, we're going to do this, like, Thriller event. Let's play the music video that's like a movie.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of time of just stuff happening that you can't see, because I assume they weren't playing the movie in the background or something.
No.
It was just noise.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
So it wasn't very well planned. I mean, you know, luckily I was just like, so there was like a bunch of zombies behind me that was supposed to like, they were also supposed to do the dance, but like they didn't know the moves like I knew them. So
what?
I was just like turn around and I'd be like, do zombie shit. And then they would just like do zombie shit for a while. And then I would turn back around and just get back into like dance moves. It was,
That is so goddamn funny. That is so funny. Jesus Christ. I kind of wish I had seen just this train wreck of an event happen.
Oh no, it's well forgotten by now. So luckily.
Lucky for you, not for me. I want to see this fucking train wreck.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You got any Halloween plans? You got any Halloween streams planned today?
Not today, but I did play some scary shit.
Oh yeah.
Like Visage. I don't know how you say it.
Oh, I think we talked about that like last week on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You were kind of like whatever about it, and I told you it was a PT inspired game, and you're like, "Oh, let me look into that."
Yeah, and you know what? This game is probably the best PT game I've ever played.
You said that about Layers of Fear, though.
Well, here's the thing. This not only is this PT, it's Layers of Fear, and it's a little bit of like Eternal Darkness. Like it combines
Really?
all of this stuff into
Ooh.
like a complete package, and it's very, very, very effective. This is the probably the most terrifying game I've ever played. Just mentally exhausting. uh, the just from the sound effects alone, which you know every time I talk about horror games, the audio is like the main thing I talk about. Audio is the most effective thing to me when it comes to a horror game, and they absolutely nail the audio. They nail the atmosphere. There's a sanity meter, and as your sanity meter as your sanity decreases, uh, just random like supernatural shit happens. Like a door will open, or like a door will just slowly open, like creak open, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like it'll just constantly do that. Like lights will flicker and shit will shake, and you'll hear shit in the distance, and bells will go off, and radios get turned on, and just all kinds of stuff just happens, and you're like, what? Like what's out there? And it's always like nothing. Well, not always nothing, but we'll get into that in a second. But it's just super effective that like it just creates this atmosphere where random shit's happening, and it just fucks with you the entire time. Um, so it's really cool for
I'll have to
that.
check it out then. How much is it on Steam right now?
It's I don't know how much it is right now. It was I caught it on a discount on GOG. See.
I gotta log in, but I kind of want to check this out then. I've been looking for something to like scratch that like PT itch. I've been told Layers of Fear is pretty good. I have Layers of Fear on my PlayStation. I got it free on PS Plus like forever ago.
Yeah.
So I need to try that. Okay,
Yeah.
Visage is $35.
It's $35 in Steam right now at the Humble store. It's $25.
Ooh.
I got it for like 20, with a GOG key, and yeah. So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about this game. It is it's not a very guided experience.
Okay.
I found it extremely frustrating because you get lost a lot. I found it very difficult to know exactly what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. Combined with the fact that you can die, and it'll send you back to the last checkpoint. And a lot of the times you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. So you're like wandering around aimlessly. Then something will fucking kill you. And then you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. This thing's chasing me and killing me. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So like I was stuck for just like minutes. Like it felt like an eternity, because like I said, this game is mentally exhausting. I mean, it's attacking every single one of your senses, and in a good way, like a way a horror game's supposed to. But at the same time, like I was getting frustrated because there's all these red herrings and traps and shit like that. And like, you know, you sit in a chair, and then like a door closes, and you're like, okay, am I supposed to sit in this chair to unlock the next room or something like that? And then there was a guy in the chat like, no, the chair's a trap. The cabinet's a trap. You're actually not supposed to open any of them. Like, I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? And then at some point, I think I hit a glitch, and like a game breaking glitch. I wasn't able to proceed, so I had to stop playing, unfortunately. There was a patch that came out after I streamed it, so I'm gonna update for that patch and see if that fixes the issues I was having. But even then, like, it was just super confusing and frustrating, like how many like red herrings there were. And when, because if you play Layers of Fear is a guided experience. You can only there's one direction to go in that game, and that's it. And this is, there's an entire house, and it just lets you wander around while a thing is chasing you and killing you. So you can wander in the wrong direction. I thought it was like my sanity meter. I was like, am I going insane? And that's why I'm dying. Um, but that wasn't it. It turns out like you're just being followed by a thing, and you're supposed to do whatever the thing is to proceed. But I never know what the thing is. Like I never know what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, it's really good. It's just know that how it's like it gets really confusing.
That's good to know. I mean, PT itself like wasn't exactly like a guided experience. So I don't think I'd mind too much. Now that I know what I'm getting into, like I can kind of expect it when I do sit
Yeah,
down to
but
play.
like PT was just like it was one hallway, so
Yeah,
you eventually figured it out. This, and you also couldn't die in PT. Like you would just wander around until you figured it out. Whereas in this, you can fucking die and you get sent back to your
yeah,
checkpoint. So that's what the frustrating thing was, is that it keep resetting me while I still had no fucking clue what I was supposed to do.
yeah.
Um, and I just got super frustrated. I was like, there was a guy in chat that was like, I was like, dude, just tell me what I need to do because I'm going to rage quit this game if I keep dying. Uh, and then he tells me what the puzzle was, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how are you supposed to know that? Like, so it's that kind of shit. It's I think that's its biggest flaw, but the experience as a whole is like it does exactly what it needs to do for like a horror game. It's absolutely terrifying.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's still worth at least like checking out and like trying.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
And that's
And
definitely what I want to do. I want to check it out and try it.
and the guy in chat, he was like, dude, this is just chapter 1. You didn't even get to chapter 2 yet, which is where the shit really hits the fan. I'm like, oh great. Well, hopefully if I ever finish chapter 1, which is unlikely at this point, I look forward to chapter 2. But like it's yeah, it was just super frustrating. So
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad you tried it, so I don't have to. No,
It's
I'll
good.
give it a try.
Yeah,
It sounds
it's
good. Like all jokes aside, it sounds good, and I do want to play it. I'll probably wait till it goes on sale and then try it again. I know it'll be after spooky season, but I still want to try it.
yeah.
Cooking is fun is here in the chat. What up, Cooking? You
Cooking is
enjoying
fun is
Final
here.
Podcast?
You know, we
So
do
he's
this
enjoying
live.
it now.
Twitch.tv/Gameoverse. Gameoverse.com/Twitch. We're also on YouTube. By the way, Twitch is doing some real fucked up shit with ads right now. They're forcing ads aggressively on people's channel, even like midstream. Interrupts the stream to just put some ads in there. So we are also on YouTube, and we do encourage the use of ad block because we do not see any of that ad revenue. So I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, come back when we're bigger, then we'll have an opinion on it. But until then, fuck it.
Yeah.
Do what you
So install ad block. Watch us on YouTube if you need to. Watch us on our website. No ads there. So do what you got to do.
want.
Um,
Anything else you've been playing, man?
yeah. So I said I would go back to Ghost of Tsushima Legends, and
Okay.
I did that.
Has your opinion changed on it since the last time you tried it, or is it more or less the same?
Nope. It's the same.
All right,
uh,
so skip that then.
I
But
do have I have more context on how that story mode
right,
works. So
all
the
right,
story mode is broken up into 10 like segments of uh 10 segments of a continuous story where there's like a Oni Baba, and it breaks it up in these 10 segments where it's like, oh, these enemies regenerate health, and the narrator is going to tell you why they're regenerating health. It's because of the Oni Baba. But that's all it does. Like that's its version of story. It's like these guys regenerate health. It's because of the Oni Baba. Um, it's not any like big thing. There's never any huge like boss fights, which like I kind of wanted some big like boss thing to come out in that last mission or something, but it never. The story that's there never gets resolved. At least from what's there right now. I assume they're going to be adding more stuff to this. There's a lot of things that are locked off. There's different difficulty levels. So like based on your chi level or key level, whatever the fuck, however you say it, um, which is just your gear level. So the more gear level you have, the more higher difficulty missions you can take.
You're telling me
Um,
that it's kind of like the light level from Destiny.
yeah, basically Destiny. So like Destiny has like Nightfall, which is like harder versions of its story missions. This does exactly the same thing.
Mhm.
Um, but it calls it like something else. There's like raid stuff in there. There's like weird stuff in this game that it's not available. I don't know if it's just not available to me right now because I'm low level, or if they just haven't put it in yet. But um, there's like raids. I have not seen anything about raids yet. There's like super high level missions that everything's locked to me still. But yeah, it just doesn't. It's good, but it's I can see how it's built, and it's just
Yeah.
it's real bare bones. It's a free thing, so again, it's free. Not I didn't expect much to begin with, but people were saying this is how it should be done, and yeah, sure, it should be done like this, but it's very bare bones for what you get here. Like it's not
Yeah.
anything substantial. Again, I would not buy the game just for this mode. Uh, there's a survival like horde mode. It fucking sucks. I hate it. So
That sucks. Horde modes are usually pretty fun in games. They're some of my favorite modes in most games.
yeah, but this is just like a clusterfuck. You don't have the abilities that you would want to have. So remember I said there's no like the base game is based on like stances. You switch your stance according to what kind of enemy you're fighting. And I thought they didn't have that in this, but they do have it depending on what equipment you have. Um, Certain swords will have a you have uncommon, common, rare, epic, ultra rare, whatever the fuck the rarities are, and the higher rarity items have more abilities on them. So I eventually found a rare sword that had the wind stance on it, and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. I can only use this stance on this one weapon that has this stance on it. And
So that like
early,
eliminates like that already limits like how effective you are in a fight
yeah,
then because you limited
yeah.
the one stance. Okay.
Um, Not that like the stances are absolutely necessary here because a lot of the you have like you got two people with you, four in the horde modes. Like some you can really just gang up on motherfuckers and take them out that way. Um, it's the real like big. There's bigger enemies that have a lot more health,
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't have like unblock. They have a bunch of unblockable attacks and a bunch of health, and they just seem unfair to begin with. Like you wouldn't want a stance to fight them anyway, but I don't know. It was just kind of fucked up that the stances were like locked behind this equipment that early game you're getting so much new equipment that you're never gonna latch on to the one that has the stance. And it's only ever one stance, by the way. It's never like so. It's always super situational. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt it weird that they did it that way. Maybe the other classes. I did eventually unlock some of the other classes, but you have to like they're locked by levels. So once you hit level 10 with one class, you can choose another class, and then you get locked to those two classes. So
Okay.
maybe the samurai class has all the stances. I haven't gotten to see that one yet, but I don't know. I found out no one uses the archery class.
Is
Um,
that like a low tier class or something?
no, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone, the Ronin is the low tier one, if you ask me, but he is the most useless. But
Well, that's a bummer. I mean, it's cool that it's free. I mean, it's kind of hard to complain that it's like a free update.
yeah,
You know, we
yeah,
didn't even know it was. It's not like they promised it from the beginning of the game. They're like, "Oh, here's gonna be our multiplayer mode that's gonna come out after release," like they did with GTA Online.
yeah,
It was like a
exactly.
fun little like, "Hey, you bought the game already, you enjoyed it. Here's another reason to enjoy it." So it's
Yeah,
cool. It's hard to be mad at it for something like that.
yeah, and it's great for what it is. But
Yeah.
I don't know. People are like fawning over this, and it's just not that substantial. So, um, but it's good though. So, if you have the game and you still have it, check it out. I will say, for fuck's sake, man, people suck online. There's matchmaking, and people just are not. They're not good at communicating. Like they'll just run in there and try to just 1v1 everything. I'm like, dude, like let's fucking. It's called Ghost of Tsushima, not fucking run in there and try to fucking kill everything of Tsushima. Like, especially like because we were doing on the easy missions, you have infinite continue, so like it doesn't matter there. But
Yeah.
once you get into the hard shit, you have to have a level of teamwork and communication. Like, all right, I'm gonna get the left guy, you get the right guy. I'm gonna set some traps up here. Like, there are instances where you can have that level of communication and like teamwork, but you are
Yeah.
not getting it in those easy missions. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go back to this, but it's okay. It's okay for what it is. So it's not, don't expect a lot.
I'll pick up a copy eventually. Like I've been wanting to play it for a while. Everyone keeps telling me how it's a good game. It's still worth it for the single player.
Yeah.
So I'll check it out eventually. I've just been playing so much. Well, no, I haven't been playing that much. Same shit every week. Still playing Pokemon. That's still good. Still recommend it. If you can get Pokemon Sword and Shield on sale, I say go for it. I talked about this in a lot of detail last week, but the game itself, it's a solid Pokemon game, but it doesn't feel like the console Pokemon game that I was expecting. So if you can
Yeah.
get the game on sale for like 30, $40, which you probably would have paid if it came out on the 3DS, I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth it at that point. I wouldn't recommend paying $60 for it though. I also picked up because we're going to talk about this later in the podcast, but during a Nintendo Direct, they announced the No More Heroes games were just like stealth dropping on, not even stealth dropping, but just dropping on the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah.
So that was a big surprise. I picked up the first No More Heroes. It was on sale when it first came out. It's like a $20 game. It was on sale for like $17 if you picked it up day one. So I grabbed that. I only played about an hour of it. I've never played the original No More Heroes, but I'm playing this one. It's pretty cool. I really liked it. It's a lot of fun. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. It's really violent and silly, which is what I like. I think games take themselves too seriously, and No More Heroes definitely doesn't take itself seriously at all, and I love that. Cooking and fun is fun as asked. Do you guys ever go into detail on things games can improve on? Like, what would it take to make Pokemon Sword and Shield into a console game? Yes, actually. I went over that not last week's podcast, but the week before when
Yeah.
I first got the game. Basically, just the game doesn't feel like a console Pokemon game because graphically it's still super similar to what the 3DS was bringing to the table. The only cool thing that they added into it that I felt like couldn't work on another Pokemon or another system is the wild area, which is like a huge, like explorable map. The explorable map part of it's really cool. I like having this big, almost open world map to play around in. But my problem is that like it's utilized like it's one section of the game and it's not utilized too much. I feel like if the whole game kind of had this like freedom, it'd be a lot better. I think the jump. The problem is if you look at other games that came to the Switch or even the Wii U, if you look at the jump for like let's say Zelda,
Yeah.
from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild, that jump is crazy.
And that's what I keep saying. Like I want them to give the Breath of the Wild treatment to all of their games. Like even
Yeah,
Super Mario Odyssey was a decent leap in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And that's what I was expecting. I was like, fuck, what are they going to bring for Pokemon? These games have come out on mobile
Yeah.
for years. We're finally getting console power behind it. And it's more or less the same game. They changed a lot of stuff, though, that I really do like. Wasabi won't care because the core is still the same Pokemon experience.
Yeah.
But as a returning Pokemon fan, they made a lot of really cool quality of life changes that I really like. Even though it's kind of a gimmick, I think like the Dynamaxing part's pretty cool. I think Mega Evolutions are cooler, but Dynamaxing is still pretty neat. It's a cool mechanic. Pokemon, you can see them in the grass now, so you can avoid them. It's not just like a random battle, which is really cool. But if you're not paying attention, what's really cool is when you walk in grass, you can see Pokemon walking around the grass. So if you see a Pokemon you want, you can chase it down and catch it, or if you want to avoid it, you can do that. But you're still not safe when you're walking around in grass, though, because every once in a while, a piece of grass will shake and an exclamation point will go over it. And if you're just rushing through the grass, you step on it, that'll trigger a fight. So you do need to be careful going through. You can avoid most fights if you're careful running away from monsters or Pokemon and avoiding those shaking grass. I like that a lot because I don't like... I'm bored of like random encounters in games. I like seeing the enemies there so I have a chance to avoid it. I feel like that's much more comfortable than just this random, like, oh, here's a fight because you walk like 5 steps. That's one thing I really like that's in Pokemon. I like that the gyms are like a big stadium, so it's like a Pokemon battle. It's like a big sporting event in Pokemon Sword and Shield, kind of like how we would look at football here in the US or soccer in the UK, closer to soccer because the game's based in the UK. So when you fight the gym, it's like in a huge stadium. You're wearing like a sports uniform. So that's pretty cool. I feel like an athlete when I play through it. That's something that's never been explored in other Pokemon games before. There's a lot of cool things I like about it, but the core is still there. But I feel like the jump to console didn't justify what we got here in the game. Yeah, that's my concern, especially since like small rant. If you look at the jump from like when Pokemon first went 3D with X and Y, like that was a huge jump going from Black and White 2 to X and Y. Like I really felt like fuck, like this is like a new Pokemon game. It's evolved in a way that that is a huge step forward, and it justified the new system. I didn't feel like Sword and Shield did that, at least not completely. I've been told the expansions actually play more on the console's power, and it feels more like a console Pokemon game, but I haven't bought those yet. I will when I'm done with the main game, but that's my big concern. Hopefully oh, sorry.
I was gonna say you even see what like other games do when they jump from handheld to console. You see like Monster Hunter World,
Yes,
which like was the like first huge breakout, like non-niche. I don't say non-niche, but that was the first huge breakout Monster Hunter, where that was like my first Monster Hunter, where people like finally got into Monster Hunter, like in a much bigger scale. And they changed a lot of core mechanics of that game to make it more approachable for people coming in on the outside. Like they don't have to please. They keep trying to please the crowd that you already have. You're not bringing in new people though. That's the thing. Pokemon can be.
Yeah, Pokemon can reach a wider audience, and I think that's the problem with Pokemon because Monster Hunter in itself is already a niche gameplay idea. You know, the Monster Hunter genre was invented. I would argue was invented by Monster Hunter. Maybe there's like some historian out there that can tell me otherwise, but I feel like it was, if not invented, at least popularized by Monster Hunter. And you have a lot of clones that try to copy it, but even those clones don't do that well. Monster Hunter is arguably the most successful monster hunting game on the market, and it was still very niche. Pokemon has the opposite problem. Everyone knows what Pokemon is. Everyone knows how Pokemon plays. It doesn't need a bigger audience, but I feel like it does need to evolve to stay relevant. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, these games still sell like crazy, but as a fan who's played them pretty much from the beginning, I would like to see more evolution in it. I'm not saying like, I know some people want like a more action gameplay system. I'm not saying do that, but you know, do change up the game, make it look like a console game first off, because graphically the game doesn't look like it deserves to be on a console. Those are my 2 cents on it. And again, if you look at something like you said from Monster Hunter to World, that jump is crazy. And I'm not saying do something that big because, you know, the PS4 is more powerful than the Switch. PC, Xbox One are more powerful than the Switch, but I would like to see something, you know, better than what we got. Hopefully with a sequel, you know, with Sword and Shield 2 or whatever else they're going to be releasing there later in the future for Pokemon on the Switch, we can start to see better games come out. But until then, if you have a Switch, you want to play Pokemon, I recommend Sword and Shield if you're already a Pokemon fan, or if you haven't played Pokemon in a while, it's still pretty fun. Just get it on sale, $30-$40 at the most if you can find it.
Yeah.
That's the Pokemon hour.
Pokemon,
I'm also still playing Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 3, which is still fun. I'm having a lot more fun with Flak than I was with Amara, so that's really cool. I fucked up playing as Amara first. Everyone tells me like, oh, she plays more like Borderlands 1 and 2. If you want the Borderlands 3 experience, play as literally anyone else because they play radically different, especially with their abilities. And they're right, dude. Flak is totally different from any Borderlands experience I've had before. And I really like what I'm playing here. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of I was starting to get tired of Borderlands, but playing as another character kind of brought this life back in me. I don't totally mind having to start the game over again. I still wish I could start it from true Vault Hunter mode from the beginning, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It still plays great. I like what I'm doing. It's a fun game. Wasabi, you have it, dude. We should definitely like play it sometime. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for excuses to play it. Maybe on stream. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, that's what I've been playing, dude. I'm still playing a lot of the same games. Hopefully next week I'll have more games that I've been playing. I plan on picking up some games this week. I'll keep it a secret, but that'll be fun to talk about, man. Especially if you can stream something later too. I want to play Phasmophobia again. That was a lot of fun, even though I almost shit myself.
Yeah. I think I like that game better with less people.
Yeah, you're telling me about that. I feel like it works better with less people because everyone's not talking over each other. It feels more like an experience and less like a game.
Yeah, but not even that. It's just it gets really easy when you have everyone just maxes out all the equipment you can bring, got 20 cameras and 20 like just maxed everything. And I just found it like we would just go in, identify the ghosts, knock out all the objectives, and just leave, and then come out with like $200, and it was just super easy.
So that'll be cool then to check out, just to play this the two of us. Maybe one more person. I think 2 to 3 might be the sweet spot for that game.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, Wasabi and I did play Phasmophobia for a little bit. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. There's a part
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia. What did I say? Yeah. Phasmophobia? That's that's another game.
Yeah, that's an FMV game.
Yeah. Phasmophobia, we did play it, and it was a lot of fun. I had a very funny moment. I'm not going to spoil it here. That was God damn it, dude. When you showed me that clip, I was laughing for like half an hour straight. Check it out. It's a cool game. We definitely recommend it. It's super like rough right now, but the bones are there for a fun experience if you can find friends to play it with.
Yeah, they put out an update that it fixes some stuff, but like my issue isn't with the bugs in that game. It's more of just the lack of variety.
Yeah.
And the lack of like content, because you go in and people already know what they need to do. They are like, I would like to see maybe like multiple ghosts, or like when your sanity sanity decreases, maybe you like hallucinate or some shit like that. Like I just want to see some more variety with it, because it's the same every time.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That makes perfect sense. I would like to see that too. I'm not being too hard on it because the game still is in early access, so hopefully we'll see some more stuff later. Yeah. But from what we played, man, from the bones, like the bones are good. Like,
yeah,
the bones are solid, and I want to see them build off of that. I think if they play the cards right, they can have a pretty good game on their hands, man. I don't know if it's going to do gangbusters like the other big streaming games, like Fortnite and Fortnite, but I think it could be a fun game that can get a pretty decent audience if it played its cards right.
Yeah,
I do want to see this game like become more popular than like that week of fame that most games get, where everyone's obsessed with it for a little bit and then it dies off. I want to see that continue.
Now's the time when you've got the momentum, you have to push out update. I mean, that's what like Fall Guys did. Among Us is pushing its stuff out. Like you gotta iterate fast when you got the momentum, or else it's gonna stagnate and people are gonna forget about it. So they put out one update that only like fixed minor stuff and added some like quality of life stuff, but it didn't really change anything up for like major. And that's kind of what I want to see. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The game's still in early access, so hopefully we'll see some more shit come out later.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Random thought. I gotta go back and play Control. I haven't finished it yet, and I really need to finish it because I liked it a lot.
I've been playing every time I go back to that game. I did load that up a little bit.
Yeah.
My game is like fucked up, dude. I'm having like issues with like the textures don't load. So until it doesn't load until like I pause the game for like 10 seconds, then unpause it, then all the textures load. I have no idea what it is.
What is that? What is going on there?
It's not on my SSD, but like it never was. So I'm not sure why it's doing that now. And then like it's frustrating when I'm trying to do like the side missions and it doesn't tell you where things are. It'll tell you, hey, it's in the medical bay, but it doesn't tell you exactly the thing you need to do while you're in there.
Yeah, the map is like fucked. The objectives are super vague.
Yeah.
Which
so I was
like it's kind of part of the charm, but it's also like super annoying.
Yeah.
When you get like a random popped up mission, it's like, oh, there's like a thing going on here in this room. And you're
then,
like, cool. And you pull up the map and the map's a fucking mess. Like,
yeah. I was running around for like an hour trying to find the one fucking thing they wanted me to shoot at. And then, I finally found it, shot it, cleared the objective, and then I died and then got sent way back. The checkpoints are fucked, man. Like the checkpoints are fucked, and like the direction, like the objective markers are fucked in that game. Which is
it's still fun though. Like, it's still that's the worst part, dude. If the game was dog shit, I wouldn't even care.
Yeah,
but because the game is like the game is a fun game, and the story's like legitimately like got me hooked. It's like, god damn it! Like I want to be mad at you, but I can't because I want to see how it ends. It's a good game though. I recommend everyone check it out. Like now that it's on Steam, everyone should go check it out.
Yeah, I'm at the end of that game now, and I'm holding off finishing it so I can like mop up some of the side stuff, and then now that I'm doing the side stuff, I'm noticing how like why I never did them in the first place, because it's impossible to know where the fuck everything is. So
that's my problem. I'm doing the side stuff. I like to do side stuff first to like bump up my character. Yeah. But god damn it, dude, that map is fucked. The objective markers are fucked. Like, anything that's not like the core planned out experience is kind of rough.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the part of it, because the game itself, even though the game's not it's a Metroidvania, quote unquote, like open, quote unquote game, the story itself is a level by level, like linear style story. So the game has these like set pieces that it tries to like walk you through. It has these levels that are meant to be played where they know where you're going to be standing, how you're going to tackle it, and they craft these great experiences with it. But anything that's not that core experience is rough.
Yeah.
Even general exploration can be kind of annoying once you get lost. But I've had so many moments where I just walk around because I want to see where everything is, and I get fucking lost and can't find my way back.
Yeah, but that's why I think that's why like the getting lost part is kind of the thing about that game. Like they kind of explain it where it's like, oh, the walls are shifting and shit like that. But it's good. Also, the telekinesis power, the throw power, is like the most OP thing in the game. Like I never use the guns. Like I maxed out my throw, and that's all I use.
I was kind of worried in the beginning because I was like, God, my guns are so like underpowered. I could barely do enough damage for it to reload again. Like, is this gonna be the whole game? And then I got the telekinesis, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, man, it's so good. So good. Everyone should go play it. Go play it right now. We got some news to talk about. I know we got a little sidetracked there what we're playing, but I hope most people who come in like to listen to us talk. You know, that's what I like to. I want to hope at least, but we do have some news to go over.
Yeah.
This has been taking the internet by storm, man. Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed again, and I have some mixed opinions on it. For those of you who don't remember, the game was very first announced was set to come out like in April. And then it got delayed. It was delayed to what was it, November 3rd, November 5th, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
And then it got delayed again to December 10th. No, it was supposed to come out towards the end of November. I remember. It was supposed to come out towards the end of November, then it got delayed again to December 10th.
No, it got delayed. No, it got delayed before November. It got delayed to October. Then it got delayed to November.
Yes, and then got delayed again in December.
Yeah.
I have mixed opinions on this because I am very firmly in the camp that I don't mind games getting delayed because then I know I'm going to get a quality experience when the game comes out.
Yeah.
But Cyberpunk did admit that a big part of what caused these delays were the new consoles and having to develop for 9 platforms.
So that's
the time and resources necessary to have a release.
That's what they say in the statement, but actually, so some stuff came out after this that they didn't tell anyone, which is after they announced this, they had a conference call.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually state that, is this it? No. Is this it? Here it is. So they had a conference call afterwards that said, yeah, the PC version is like done. The next gen versions are done. But the current gen consoles are the reasons why.
Oh.
Yeah. They're having problems with the current gen versions.
Ooh, that is interesting.
It says the game for PC is ready and plays well on next-gen consoles. The company is finalizing the process concerning current-gen consoles. Which makes sense because with how big this game is and what it's doing, I can understand how, I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of rough stuff coming out even now on those consoles.
Yeah.
Even we were just talking about Control. Like, Control is bad on those current gen consoles.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a poor experience. Even these consoles are starting to show their ass a little bit. But it's just interesting to see that. I mean, look, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing. Trying to put out a game on 9 different platforms. So
yeah,
I'm not saying it's just these current consoles, but I can see how trying to optimize for those as well as everything else can fuck your shit up.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not too mad about it, but it is fucking frustrating though, especially since they announced a couple weeks, I want to say 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, that the game had gone gold, which I thought meant it was ready to ship. I guess not.
Well, the thing about going gold is that what's on the disc is ready, but they still work on that day 0 patch, which is what they say here. They said on the contrary, this is the time where many improvements are being made, which will then be distributed via a day 0 patch. This is the time period we undercalculated. So it seems like they thought maybe they could have enough time to work on that patch, but it seems like they need more time for that patch.
Yeah. Which is a shame. I'm still excited for it. like I'm not gonna sit here like fuck Cyberpunk. I'm taking back my pre-order because I never pre-ordered it. I don't pre-order games, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here like fuck that game. Like, no, it's coming out. It'll come out eventually. I'm positive it's gonna be fucking awesome when it does come out. But it does suck, especially for that one dude who was there's a kind of a meme now who was on Twitter and he fucking like tweeted Cyberpunk publicly, like, "Hey, are you sure this game's coming out in November? Because I'm about to request that day off."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yes, sir, absolutely. You have nothing to worry about." And the next day they let out that statement.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. I hope that guy seems like he's fine. So I don't think
It still
he's.
sucks. I mean, it's still a funny story.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens going forward. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last delay. But we'll have to see, man. We won't know for sure. But we'll have to wait and see. I do hope it is the last delay, though. But we'll see.
Yeah. It's better to delay it than to push out a busted game, or not even busted. I mean, if it's going to break for anyone for any reason, and you know that there's still problems with it, you should try to fix them before anyone. So even if it's last minute, if they have a chance, if they discover it, have a chance to fix it, I support them trying to fix it. Like,
yeah, I'm the same.
That's totally fine.
I'm the same way. That's why I'm not like too upset with it.
Like any other publisher would push that shit out and just fucking said, "Oh, deal with it."
Yeah.
Fucking wait for the patch, assholes.
Yeah. So that's why I condemn. That's why I don't condemn them for pushing that game out. I'm glad that we're gonna get a good experience when it finally comes out. So I'm not too mad about it. I feel why people are upset though. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like took that day off work or planned it to play the game and did all this other shit, and it sucks that you have to change your plans again. Believe me, I get it. That's the part that sucks the most, having to change all your plans again. So I get it. But fingers crossed, man. Hopefully this is the last delay and we'll actually get it come December 10th.
Yeah.
In other news, in less hopeful news, Halo Infinite lost another director. Like, what the fuck is going on with that game? Chris Lee, who is the longtime director for 343 Industries, left the project for Halo Infinite. Those of you keeping track, this is the second time that a Halo Infinite director left?
Yeah.
Which isn't a good sign because, I mean, we those of you who listen to the podcast regularly, when Halo Infinite got announced, we were pretty critical about the gameplay reveal. Just graphically speaking, we were pretty critical about it. The game looked really rough with that gameplay reveal.
Everyone was critical about it.
Yeah. Everyone was, but I like to talk about us. Fuck everyone else. But no, we were
make
pretty
it sound like you make it sound like we're the reason why we hated it, so they changed it.
But no, us included, were very critical on that Infinite trailer. Like graphically, it wasn't up to snuff what we were expecting. Because this is set to come out on like the Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X and Series S consoles. This is a next gen game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was supposed to launch with those consoles, and it's not.
And that's not happening. And this is what bums me out because already the game looked rough, and if they're like losing directors like that, it makes you think, man, like what's going on with this game? Not just that, but they shot themselves in the foot again by announcing their coding system, which is very similar to Destiny's shader system, where you pay for a preset of colors, color theme for your armor, which to my non-Halo players out there, color customization has been a thing since Halo 1. The game's always given you total freedom over what colors you want to pick for your armor. And now they're locking that behind a paywall.
Not even a paywall. They're locking it behind, like, a lot of it's behind marketing as well.
Yes, that's
which you
another
can
thing.
buy. You can buy now. Like you can buy. I don't know if you've seen like the Monster Energy cans. But like you can buy all that stuff and get like double XP and shit like that. I'm like, double XP for a game that we don't even that we can't even play yet. Don't know when we can play it. Uh, it's weird shit.
Mm-hmm. It probably happened because the marketing. They probably, like you said, the game was planned to come out. It was
Yeah,
planned to launch the new Xboxes. Now that's not happening. It sounds like Monster doesn't want to push back their marketing.
yeah. Well, that
So
and
they're
they said that in here. They said, let's see, many of these programs are still proceeding this fall as planned, which lets fans redeem and bank items now. So
still frustrating as shit, though, dude. Like, especially since, again, past Halo games have let you go buck wild, whatever colors you wanted. Color customization was always a huge thing in the Halo games. The only thing you had to pay for, not even pay for, you got it by unlocking it, were like specific armor pieces, but you can change the color however you want. Now they're
yeah.
locking this behind like marketing gimmicks and paywalls. It's frustrating. And those of you who are on the Halo subreddit, they are tearing it apart right now. Like that subreddit's a fucking war zone right now of people arguing against it, arguing for it, which I don't know how you can justify it. Like, I can
Um,
understand if like monochromatic colors were free and you wanted to add something like metallic colors or some neon color stuff like that. I could understand, but to lock like these shaders, it's similar to the Destiny shader system, and they even use the word shader to define what a coating was.
yeah.
It's super frustrating to see that happen, and it's honestly like I went from like hope like fearfully optimistic to pessimistic very quickly with them losing a director and announcing this new coding system. I mean,
It
that game
sucks.
wasn't. Yeah, it does suck. Like Halo's like a huge franchise. This sucks to see them shit in the bed with this.
And like we were talking about shaders, my favorite shader from Destiny was the one you get from pre-ordering Advanced Warfare. It was like a white and gold shader. Looked fucking badass, dude. And I think like somehow everyone got it for free at some point, and then they were like, "Oh no, that was a mistake," and then they took it, and I was like, "No, no, I like that one." uh, like I almost pre-ordered that game just for that shader. It was bad, but like if they do that here, man, it's gonna be even worse because uh like they'll give you the way it works in Destiny is they give you free shaders. Like you can get them for
Yeah,
free just by playing the game, but it's like they're shitty ones though. They're like ones that you don't want.
yeah,
Um,
colors that are ugly together. That don't look good together.
like the
Because those of you look like confused. Like the shader system isn't like a color. You don't unlock like blue or gold. It's like a combination of colors with a
yeah,
primary and a couple tertiaries, or one or two
and then but
tertiaries.
they're limited. So like
Yeah, which is bullshit.
you get like three of them. So you have how many armor slots are there? There's like one, two, three, four, five, six. Like there's like six armor slots, and then you'll get a shader that's like, oh, you have three of these shaders. So it's like, oh, I can't even, and you have to use them per armor slot, and even your weapons too. So it's like, oh, I don't even have enough to use on all of my gear to make everything look the same. So if I even use any of these, I'm gonna look like a fucking dumbass who doesn't know how to get dressed in the morning. Uh, like it's gonna look like I got dressed in the fucking dark because none of my
Yeah.
colors are gonna match.
Which
Um,
sucks is like in Destiny 1, the shader like covered your whole armor. Like it was
yeah,
a
yeah.
preset like color set, which pisses me off that they're doing something totally different. Oh man, it's a huge bummer. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm not hopeful that this is going to be a great game when it comes out. I think it's going to have a very rough release.
Dude, what if id? You know how they have machine games, and they have id now. What if they brought in id and machine games to work on this? Maybe not this, but like the next Halo after this? What if like they got some real motherfuckers to like?
I would be fucking ecstatic, dude. Are you crazy? Oh my god! If it and or Machine Games or both came in to work on a new Halo, I would be all over it. That might be the first Halo game I actually pre-ordered since like Halo 3.
Yeah, yeah. Like if Halo the Doom treatment, man, where it's just like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Ooh, like we can dream, man.
yeah.
We can dream. Side note, I found this great like ask Reddit question that I wanted to ask you. If you can have any developer cover a game like how artists can cover songs, what game would you have them cover and why?
Like what
You get,
developer and what game?
yeah. Or game idea. Like for example, like my dream game would be like a Platinum made like a Spider-Man game. God damn, dude, I'd be all over that.
Well, my developer is always going to be Kojima, always, and it really doesn't matter at that point. Like I just want him to do like I want Kojima Zelda. Those are
Oh,
my two favorite franchises of all time. I want that to, and then I want it to go the other way too. I want a Miyamoto Metal Gear.
actually, I would love to see that. To be honest, Kojima Zelda, just to see Hideo Kojima like, because a big thing with Kojima that I noticed he likes to do is like kind of deconstruct games and kind of
Yeah,
play with your expectation of how a game should and shouldn't operate.
yeah.
So I feel like he should do something similar to that. He might kill Link in like the first chunk of the game, and you play as like Zelda for the rest of it or something. I would not put it past Kojima to do something like that.
The thing about both Breath of the Wild and Metal Gear Solid 5 is that those are two games that completely fucking restructured the entire idea of what those franchises were.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Metal Gear is that we're never going to see another iteration of that concept of Metal Gear. But with Zelda, we're going to get another one of those, so they can perfect that idea more in the next one.
Yeah,
So I'm excited about the next Zelda.
me too.
But both of those games are probably like the epitome of maybe less Zelda, but Metal Gear 5 is like the epitome of Metal Gear. Cooking and Fun said forced ad break bullshit. Yeah. Dude, we're on Twitch right now, dude. I mean, we're on YouTube, so you can go on YouTube and watch us with no ads.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, man, do it. we don't want you guys missing a second of these hot takes.
yeah. Gameoverse.com/YouTube.
And other bad, well, I guess good news. FIFA loot boxes were considered a form of gambling in the Netherlands. The ruling was published on Thursday. The District Court of Hague. I don't fucking I can't read that.
Yeah, it's yeah.
They did rule in favor of the KSA imposing an administrative order, basically leaving a penalty of up to 5 million euros on Eve for violating the Gambling Act through its packs, quote unquote, in the FIFA video game. I'm okay with that, honestly, because it is gambling. Like, I don't care what people say, it's gambling, and I'm not going to sit here and take a moral high route like, oh, what if someone's like an addictive gambler going to teach kids about gambling? I don't care about that. I care about it ruining my fucking games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my. I'm not. I do not like this for a moral reason. I could give a fuck if a kid grows a gambling addiction from playing FIFA. That's not what I'm concerned about. My concern is having to pay money to pay for these loot boxes in the first place and it ruining my fucking games. Like, that's my concern.
Yeah. So when they described it here, they said the players contained by the loot box are determined by chance and the contents cannot be influenced. The fact that football players sometimes have a high value and that they can occasionally be traded constitutes a violation of the Gambling Act. Under Dutch law, a game of chance that allows a prize or premium to be won can only be provided if a relevant license has been granted. Since EA does not have a license in the Netherlands to conduct such things, If they continue to conduct such things, they will be fined. I think it says upwards of 5 million euros. So, for people who don't know, Belgium banned loot boxes back in 2018, and EA ceased selling their in-game currency in 2019. So it's a good step. Here's the thing: it's a small step, but it's an important step. Like, Belgium was the first to do it. They put the foot down and said, "Okay, we're not going to allow this." Now Netherlands is doing it. Put the foot down. They're not going to allow it. I assume EA is going to also not sell their currency in the Netherlands now. Small step. I know, like, it's not the entirety of the EU, but I'm not sure how stuff works, how their governments work over there. But look, hopefully more countries follow suit in this. Like, that's the bigger picture here, is that they see what other countries are doing, and they're like, hey, we're not going to stand for this.
Yeah,
and
it's just a precedent. Like, that's what it does.
Yeah. So,
and I'm 110% okay with that.
Yeah, like, this is great. And to see that EA is not trying to, like, they're not trying to side load some shit, like, okay, we can't do it this way, but maybe if we did it this way. Like, no, they just completely cut it off. So
I mean, when the country is like, when the Netherlands is telling you knock it off, I think it's time to, like, stop trying to find a loophole and just knock it off.
Yeah, but you know how these guys are. They're always trying to find, like, a way around the specific wording that was given.
Yeah.
They're fun mechanics or some shit like that. Like, so yeah, it's great to see this happening. So we'll see what the future holds for, other countries to follow suit in this. Like, FIFA is fucking huge in in Europe. So
yep. Well, it's because it's the only company that owns, like, the FIFA license. That's the problem. It's like Madden here in the US. Like,
yeah.
the only ones that have that NFL license, so it's kind of your only option. That's why it's so huge.
Yeah.
It's not because there's competition and people prefer your game. It's the only one that comes out.
Yeah.
So if you're a soccer fan or a football fan, you don't have a choice. So hopefully, like, anytime EA gets it stuck to them, I'm excited. So I know it's not nice to say, but fuck EA. anytime they get called out on their shit and suffer for it, I like it. It gives me a hard on, and I'm happy to see that. Oh,
don't follow that link. Never mind that.
What?
No, nothing. But yeah, that's small steps, giant leaps for this. Hopefully it turns into giant leaps. So
yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Moving on to the rest of our news here. Let's take a step back from EA. Here's our quickies, kind of. It's the variety hour that might go on for more than an hour because we got a lot of shit to talk about. But AMD just released their Where Gaming Begins Episode 2, showing off their AMD Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards. Excuse me. It's like a 24-minute video, so if you guys want to go watch, check it out. But here are some highlights from that, which I do not know because I didn't watch the video. So this is your turn, Sabi.
I didn't watch it either, actually, because I was.
Oh shit.
but I so okay, so they announced their, like, 6000 series, big Navi RDNA 2 graphics cards. Like, these are the same cards that'll be in the next gen consoles, which poses an interesting idea. Not an idea, but it'll be interesting to see how ports between those consoles and PC, how those play out. Like, are they going to perform better on these AMD cards than they would on the Nvidia cards, simply because they were already built with that hardware in mind.
I
Granted,
hear
these
what.
PC ones are going to be a lot beefier. They're not the same cards that are in those consoles, but it's all
Yeah.
built on the same architectures though. So um
So we'll have to wait and see. That would be an interesting question to raise, but I think like most consoles have been using like AMD cards, right? And I don't think it's been a huge influence on Nvidia computers, but I don't
yeah,
know.
but the thing is, like, Nvidia has always been like the market leader when it comes to
Mhm.
PC. So like it was never now things are probably going to change here because these Radeon 6000 series cards are so the RX 6800 it will be $559. This is their low tier card. It's aimed at Nvidia's RTX 2080 Ti and just fucking trounces it. I mean, good lord. Good lord. It's got 60 compute units, 1815 base clock, 2105 boost clock, 16.17 teraflops of GPU performance, and 18 gigs of DDR6 memory. Um, yeah, this matches or exceeds NVIDIA's latest $500 card. Then it might be another great option for 1440p. Um,
God damn.
so that is their
Well,
that
that
is their low tier one, their budget one. Then they have the 6800 XT, which like I'm surprised that it's just an XT and not like 'cause this one's like significantly more better than the 6800. It's got what are the specs for this? This one will be $649 and it's aimed at the 3080. So the other one was based on the 6800 was targeting the 2080 Ti. This one's targeting the 3080. So that is the current flagship from Nvidia right now. Um, it's $50 less than that Nvidia card, and it comes equipped with 16 gigs GDDR6, 2015 base clock, 2250 boost clock, 20.74 teraflops of GPU performance, and 72 compute units. Yeah, so it is $50 cheaper than 3080, and it matches or exceeds it, and in both 4K performance and 1440p performance. It does it at a lower TDP as well. It's only 300 watts.
wow. So it sounds like a lot more optimized then, and a lot more efficient. Ooh,
Yeah,
that might be enough to get me to switch to Nvidia, man. We'll see.
yeah.
Or not, from Nvidia, I should say, to
AMD, yeah.
AMD.
Yeah, I've been team blue, team green my whole life. I'm looking at team red now. I'm seeing red.
Yeah, yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see.
And
Go red.
then their
Not
big boy,
political, but
their big boy once again. This one's $1,000, which compared to Nvidia, it's $500 cheaper than Nvidia's 3090, and again, it meets or exceeds it at 4K and 8K performance. So it's got 24 gigs of memory, 2015 megahertz base clock, 2250 boost, 23.04 teraflops GPU performance. I mean, this is a big one. Like, it's $500 cheaper than 3090, and
oof,
pretty much just trounces it in terms of performance. Or it doesn't really trounce it, but it's equivalent to it, I'd say.
for
In
that much,
terms of,
that's like, yeah, that's
yeah, yeah. So that's exciting.
yeah, very exciting. Let's
These
see what happens, man.
let's
This could
see.
be enough to shake things up.
Yeah. What's the release date on these? They're coming November 18th is when the 6800 and 6800 XT come out. And the 6900 XT is December 8th.
Yeah, good shit. So, wait and see, man. We'll see what the market decides.
Yeah, I mean, the price is right. So I know when people are going to be looking to build new rigs for their, to be their Cyberpunk workstations.
Yeah.
This could be it.
Yeah, man. We'll have to wait and see what happens. In other news, we had a Nintendo Direct Mini partner showcase that showed off quite a few third-party Nintendo games coming up for Switch. It's not too long. It's like an 18-minute video, but some highlights. They did announce one thing I was excited for was Bravely Default 2.
Can I say the voice acting in this seems super bad. The voice acting seems terrible, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to comment on too, is that the voice acting is not the best, which has me like worried because Bravely Default and Bravely Second both had pretty good voice acting.
Yeah.
There's no reason it should be this bad. Also, graphically speaking, I was tough with Nintendo on this. I'm going to be hard with Square Enix too. Bravely Default does not look like a console game to me. And if that game comes out for $60, it's going to be kind of frustrating to see it come out.
I wasn't thinking the same thing. I wasn't thinking it at this point, but the thing they showed after this, I was like, man, that looks bad.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking it the rest of the way through this, how bad everything looked. But it's a Nintendo console. It's a Switch. It's lower powered than everything else. So yes, I get it.
Yes, but I challenge you on this. Dragon Quest 11 looks fucking beautiful on the Switch.
Yeah,
like, and even it's not a complicated game. Graphically speaking, it's not a super complicated game, but that looks so much better than Bravely Default 2.
Even the Xenoblade games look incredible.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, why can't they do something similar? I'm not shitting on the backgrounds because they've always had these hand-drawn backgrounds that look gorgeous. I love the way those look. I'm talking about the 3D models don't look good. Like, it looks really sloppy and kind of gross. Like, it looks like 3DS models, but like covered in goo. You know what I mean? Like, everything looks wet.
Yeah. So I never played the Bravely games. What's
they're phenomenal. They are phenomenal.
Anything good you can say about this?
It's basically the Final Fantasy we should have gotten.
Okay.
So what's great about the games, and hear me out on this, there's going to be a small tangent here. The games have a job system, like most classic Final Fantasy games. But there are so many jobs, and you can take on abilities from a job you've already completed as like a sub job. So you can kind of almost multi-class with those jobs. You can build out your team however you want. Those are a lot of fun. Even spells are reminiscent of Final Fantasy. You have Fire, Fira, Firaga, just like Final Fantasy. But the big draw of the game that I really like is the Brave default system, where the game gets its stupid name from. The way this works, Bravely Default's a stupid fucking name. It's a great game, stupid name. It's up there with Resident Evil, dumb name. But it's still fun. What's the gimmick of this is you could default, which is basically like guarding for turn-based JRPG terms. But when you guard, you basically bank that turn. So next turn you can move twice instead of just once. But you can also do the reverse. You could brave and basically put yourself into like a turn debt. So you could brave, let out all these attacks for, I think it caps out at like 3 or 4 turns, but then you're stuck having to recover for that time you put yourself in debt for. So you can have a lot of really cool strategies, like, you know, when you get into a fight, for example, you're fighting a random mob. Instead of if it's a random mob, it's going to take you a while to beat. You can just brave everybody, do everything in one big go, wipe out the fight, and it's over. But caveat, if you don't kill them on that turn, you're stuck. You're basically stuck there getting wailed on for how many turns you put yourself in debt for. Same thing, if you have a healer on your team, you can sit there, have them default until someone gets hurt or until your whole party gets hurt, and then they can use multiple turns to heal everybody up. Like, it feels really good. Yeah, it's really cool. So, like, you have this healer, you have them default, someone gets knocked out, someone gets killed. You can use your healer to revive them and then brave one of those points you defaulted on to heal them. Like, it's awesome. And at least the second game, it had this really neat system where if you wiped out a whole group of enemies in one turn, you could get into another fight immediately after that's worth more XP, and it stacks. So if you get through, like, I think 4 fights, you can have, like, triple the XP. So those 4 fights you just did count for, like, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fights. So it's really cool while you're trying to, like, experiment with how you want to wipe out enemies quickly in one turn, while also getting those XP bonuses. I had a lot of fun doing that. So grinding didn't feel like grinding to me because I didn't have to sit here, fight multiple fights. I just kept doing that to earn more experience. Also, the bosses are really creative. They have a very specific strategy to beating them that you can try to figure out using the Bravely Default system. It's just a lot of fun. Strategically speaking, like, this is like a huge evolution in turn-based games that I like to see. Like, this is probably, if someone told me they don't like turn-based games, this is like enough of an evolution to, like, convince them, hey, give this a shot. You might like this because it's so different from other turn-based games. Also, the games are super self-aware. At least the first 2 games. I don't want to spoil anything, but the games were, like, very well aware that they were games, and that's kind of canon to it being a game. The game being a game is canon to the game story to an extent. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really cool, and I'm really excited to see this one coming out. But I was hard on Pokemon. I'm going to be hard on this too, man. It doesn't look like the jump from 3DS to Switch was optimized too well. There are a couple enemies that look really good. Like, there's a snake in there that looked really cool. Some of the pig orc things look really cool too, but the character models, dude, look way too simple to me. Like, it doesn't look like a console game, and that's a huge bummer.
Did you leave this feedback from the demo? Because
I left quite a bit of feedback. So there was some feedback that they I haven't had a chance to check out the feedback summary yet, but I did leave some feedback. The game, I didn't think the game was that hard, but I've also played the earlier Bravely Default game, so that's why I didn't feel like it was that hard. The game has a specific strategy to play it. Like, you can't play it, just hitting attack all the time. You have to think about what you're going to do in your next turn, how that's going to be affected, when to brave, when to default. Like, there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. A lot of the bosses can be beaten with just a clever strategy. Levels be damned in most cases, and I didn't feel like it was that hard playing through it. A boss would kill me. I'd see how he fought. I changed my strategy, and I'd whoop him like the next fight. It wasn't too hard for me.
Yeah.
But I can see some people being upset about it. That's why I like that they added the difficulty changes. You can choose easy, normal, and hard to choose from. I like that they did that instead of just making the whole game easier. They have you choose which difficulty you want. One thing I didn't like, and they probably fixed it, I remember there's a huge complaint of mine, is that you can't see the turn order ahead of time. So the way the game works is that you have your 4 characters, you pick out what you want them to do, and the turns play out. So I can't see who's going to go first, who's going to go last, who's going to go second, who's going to go third. I can't see that. I just pick what they're going to do, and the game plays out. So my strategy is very limited, which is weird because the earlier Bravely Default games let you do that.
That's a big thing for me. In turn-based games, I need to see the turn order.
So. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much in smaller games like Pokemon, for example, where it's only a one-on-one fight anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who's going next. Or games like some Final Fantasy games where you're picking like one person after another. Like you pick your move as your turn comes up. But this one, it's like, here's the start of that round. Pick what all 4 characters are going to do. Watch that round play out. And I got to see who's going next, who's going first to plan out my strategy. That wasn't in this game. But I know a lot of people from the Bravely Default subreddit complained about that. So hopefully that's being added in. But I'll have to check out the actual notes they left to see if it is. It'd be dumb if they didn't.
Yeah.
What happens?
Right. This is the third Bravely game. Bravely Default 2 is the third one.
Yes. The first game was Bravely Default. The second one was Bravely Second. And the third one is Bravely Default 2. There's probably some weird story reason for why they did that. I couldn't tell you what it is, though. I'm sure because of how meta the games do get towards the end of the game. The games start out very traditional JRPG as fuck, but there are some cracks in the game that kind of make you go, wait, what? Because they get really meta just out of nowhere. So I'm sure that has something to do with the meta-ness of the game. I'm almost positive it does. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe once the game comes out, we'll have some more reasons for it. We also got a first look at a new Story of Seasons game, Pioneers of Olive Town. I've never played any of the Stories of Season games. They're kind of Harvest Moon style farming simulator games.
Yeah, it looks like
cool. It looks interesting. Nothing too much to write home about. It's coming out March 23rd if that's your cup of tea.
Stardew Valley type shit. Really cool.
Stardew Valley as fuck, but if that's your cup of tea, man, go for it. Like, it's coming out March 23rd. You do you, man. No judgment here. We also have a post-apocalyptic game. Post-apocalyptic. Fuck, I can't talk today. Game coming out, made by Paradox Interactive and Ice Flake Studios. It looks very similar to like a base building post-apocalyptic survival game.
Looks like SimCity, post-apocalyptic SimCity.
Very, very much like SimCity. It's called Surviving the Aftermath. That comes out spring 2021. That looks cool. Nintendo also had a look at the new the Greek game Immortal. Was it Immortals Phoenix Rising? Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so here's where I was like, boy, I hope this game is $40 because this looks bad. Yeah. Like this is where I hit the realization that and even in that like Harvest Moon game that it showed before, the Story of Seasons game, and I keep saying this every time you look at a fucking Switch trailer, why do you have to show your Switch trailer dropping frames? It makes it look bad. Like, at least if you're gonna show me this, lie to me and just make it look like it's 60 frames or even a stable 30, which is clearly not.
Yeah.
This looks bad. I would not pay $60 for this. Yeah. That would be a ripoff.
Yeah, it's very unstable. Gameplay wise, it looks cool. Like, the combat is very like Devil May Cry, which is what I like. It's more aggressive than what Breath of the Wild was trying to do.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. The skill trees look interesting, but graphically, performance wise, it's unstable. It's dropping frames. The textures, some of the character models when they're like up close look really like rough and jaggy. It doesn't show off the game too well, which bums me out because people are gonna sit here like, oh, that's the Switch for you. No, Breath of the Wild looks fucking phenomenal on Switch.
Yeah.
So why can't other developers pull it off? Like, it's frustrating to me to see that.
I think they're just like, they're half-assing it, man. They're knowing that like they're knowing that they can half-ass it, put it out on the Switch for the same $60 and people are still going to buy it. Like, people should be more upset about this, I think.
Yeah, I think too. And
not that the game is bad, because the game looks, I played it. I played the demo. I said it's actually quite fun. But I would not pay $60 for this to get a subpar version. Exactly. It's just, it's not,
especially since it's obviously taking inspiration from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
How are you going to release a game like that on the same system as the game that inspired you and make it look objectively worse? Like,
yeah.
And that's the standard I hold people to, because people will tell me, like, again, people will tell, I've complained about this. People are like, oh, it's a Switch. What do you expect? I expect Breath of the Wild. I expect Super Mario Odyssey, which looked fucking beautiful on the Switch. So why can't other developers do it? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it's a really early build of it, and we'll get some better gameplay once it releases. But I'm not holding my breath, man. I'm probably, if I do play that game, it's probably going to be on like PS4 or PC.
Yeah, don't hold your breath of the wild.
Yeah. They also had like a little lightning round where they showed off quick looks at some of the games. We got to look at a new Bakugan game, which I didn't know Bakugan was still a thing.
Yep.
Fuck is this 2008? But whatever. It's Bakugan, man. If you like Bakugan, here's another game. I know nothing about it, so I'm not gonna have an opinion on it. We also got Griftlands is a really cool game. So hear me out. I've heard of Griftlands for a while. It's a like a role-playing choice-based game, adventure game. But what's cool is that you have like conversation pieces where you're not just like rolling a die and selecting a option. The conversations are played out like a card game, which is really cool for trying to like convince someone to do something or argue with someone on top of like the turn-based combat. And it's really neat because what I've been told that there's a lot of choice in the game, how you play out, how people feel about you has a huge impact on how the game plays out itself. It looks really neat, dude. I'm into it. I've heard about this game a while ago. I definitely want to check it out. We also got a look at Tropico 6 coming out on the Switch, which, my God, that looks awesome too.
Yeah.
I get like a Sim City style game, but fuck, dude. The game looks so muddy. The textures look so jagged.
Again, how much does that cost on Switch again? Because like, if you're paying $60 for this, you're getting ripped the fuck off.
Yeah, man. Oof. We're also getting a new Hitman game coming on Switch. Hitman 3. Well, not new. It's Hitman 3, but it's playable on the cloud on Switch.
Now,
which looks good.
This to me raises another question, which is, well, again, how much is this going to cost on Switch? If I'm paying for a cloud version of a game, I don't how. There's stuff on Switch that does that already, right? Like there's Resident Evil does that.
I think was in Japan on Switch on the cloud. They also announced like right after Hitman 3, they announced that Control, the old Control Ultimate Edition was coming to the cloud.
Which too. I pulled that up. It said you can it's free to download.
Yeah.
So I couldn't look at the price. Is there how does the pricing work?
If you look in the game page, which I haven't done yet, but I did look at it when I heard it was coming out. It says free to download, but if you look in the text, it says the game may offer in-app transactions.
What is that? It's so like they're trying to obfuscate the actual like price of the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna, let's download it right now. Fuck it. Let's see what it does.
Again, because you're I was questioning price the whole time I was watching this direct. I was like, okay, how much do these games cost? Because they look really bad. You got 2 cloud-based games here, and now I'm just wondering, like, what's the pricing scheme for these? Because if you're paying $60 for this, you're getting ripped off. It's just,
which is funny because, like, immediately after these got announced, we got a trailer for fucking No More Heroes 3, and that game looks excellent, dude.
Yeah.
But it says right there, like, not actual gameplay footage. Well, that's for the first part. When you actually get to the gameplay where he's like fucking people up,
yeah,
it looks phenomenal. It looks really good, and I'm into it. Like, I really want to play this. The game's really funny and tongue in cheek. Like, my favorite part is like 12 minutes, 30 seconds in, when like Travis and that alien are touching heads, and like this bumper comes up and says the galaxy versus the hood.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it did. Like, there's a lot of like cool stuff here, and I'm like, games could look good on Switch. They could run fine on Switch. It's just developers don't want to put the time into doing it. And it's around when they announced. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna say I like when they bring in the old games and it's like a huge fucking like meme card where it's uh fuck where does it happen right here. They bring in the old games. It's like available now, and it's just this huge like fucking meme like dancing on the fucking thing. It's
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
so funny. The games are super self-aware, and I love that. I know I said I never played No More Heroes. That's kind of a lie because I did play the first No More Heroes on Wii, but I never finished it because the copy I got was like broken or something, so it kept freezing. Took it back to
Yeah.
GameStop. They gave me another copy. I think they swapped out the same fucking disc because it would freeze in the exact same place. I think like they just gave me back the same disc because they kept freezing in the same place. I was like, fuck this game. I'm just not gonna play it then. So I'm glad that I got it now so I can play it again. Graphically, the games look fine. Like No More Heroes 1 and 2 still look pretty good. They look about as good as they did on the Wii. They were cleaned up a little bit. I've been told from other people who played them a bit more that they run at a full 60 FPS, or they only ran at 30 on the Wii. So that'll be cool to see on your Switch. They do support motion controls too, as well as standard controls, which is interesting because the first No More Heroes never got regular control support, where the second one did. So this is the first time you can play No More Heroes without motion
Yeah.
controls.
I'm hoping
Which
these come to PC.
yeah, me too. I'm really hoping they come to PC too, but we'll see, man.
Well,
Nintendo's got that shit
the
on.
first one's on PC, but No More Heroes 2 is still not. And
Heroes isn't on PC, is it?
yeah, the first one is.
Really? Like on
Uh,
Steam?
yeah, it's on Steam. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
Grasshopper they have a couple games. They have Killer 7's on there, Let It Die is on there, and No More Heroes is on there.
So I see No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again.
Yeah.
That weird like
It-
overhead
wait,
like spin-off.
that's not the first game?
No.
Oh.
That's like an overhead like indie spin-off.
Oh,
It's like a
well then.
two-player like, overhead action RPG. Like hack and
Gross.
yeah. That is not No More Heroes 1 or 2.
Well, then I
uh
hope those games
there's a
come.
big like yeah, same here, dude. There's a big like controversy when that came out because people were like, I want to see a new No More Heroes. This isn't No More Heroes, but they're making No More Heroes 3 anyway, so it's not a big deal. Um I'm not too upset with it, especially since like No More Heroes. I was never a big fan of it. I never played them, but I'm slowly becoming a fan, especially with the third game coming out pretty soon. It looks good. That's definitely going to be a buy for me. I'm into it. That game's like it's like that game was made for me, dude.
Yeah.
It's a dumb, self-aware game that knows it's a game that's just trying to be as fun as possible. That game was made for me, and I'm excited to play it. We also got a look at a smaller game. Where is it? Part-time UFO. It's basically like
This is from HAL. This is HAL Laboratories, the
yeah,
Kirby guys.
yep. It looks neat. It's a fun, cute little game, dude. It's like a claw grabber game with a little bit more physics mechanics. I kind of like it. I could see myself having fun with this.
Yeah.
This is pretty cheap. I mean, it might be worth picking up, man. It's available today. It came out the same day that the direct aired, so that'll be really cool to see. Now this is something that we've both been waiting for. We got a new look at Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Some new story stuff got showed off. Some new gameplay stuff got showed off. We got to see some new weapons, some characters fighting off, especially the champions from the Breath of the Wild games. But here's the drop, dude. Here's where the beat drops. We got to look at the Divine Beasts being playable.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I get to drive one of these things. Like it opens up with Rivali's Divine Beast, the bird, like flying around, like shooting shit like it's goddamn Star Wars. And the second one's Daruk's like camel, like knocking through stuff and shooting stuff. Like it's insane, dude. Like I'm so happy that this is a thing. This is something I didn't know I wanted until Nintendo gave it to me.
Yeah.
Like I am every time they release something new on Age of Calamity, I get more and more excited for it.
This game's about to be like low key game of the year.
Yeah, dude, I think so. I really think so. Like they did so much to it. Like I'm excited. They also released a demo for the game, which I downloaded but have not played yet. And I'm really bummed out. I will be playing it soon, and I'll have a full opinion on it one day. They also announced that all save data on the demo can be carried over to the main game. So that's cool. You can get some time in for that demo, carried over to the game, which comes out November 20th. This might be worth picking up day one, dude. Like I really think so. Like I'm super into it.
I'm gonna have to fix my Switch.
There you go, man. Do it. That was our second quickie.
Oh yeah.
I swear the rest of them aren't going to be this long. Next up, we have Far Cry 6 got delayed until March 2021. Are we really surprised it got delayed? Like,
I didn't believe when they said it was coming out this year. I was like, "There's no way."
They had nothing to show for it. They had that cinematic trailer with Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, with like his pedophile kid, with his pedophile like being a pedophile, because I don't know what his relationship is with that child in the trailer, but it's really weird.
What is that not? Wait, is that not like his father?
I don't know what his relationship is.
Wasn't that his like his son?
Maybe I need to re-examine.
Why did you think that was anything else?
I don't know. Maybe I just see pedophiles that aren't pedophiles. Without you explain that, I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. I retract my statement. But no, when they showed off that trailer, it was just like a cinematic trailer. We knew nothing. We had no gameplay. We still haven't seen any gameplay on it. So, like, I'm really surprised that they're delaying the game.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they. I mean, we didn't know what it was to begin with, but I'm hoping that they reevaluate what Far Cry is or what it should be, because those games have just been copy paste from like since Far Cry 3.
What? You've been copy and pasting games over? No.
I know, right? Crazy, huh? So I'm hoping this gives them time to kind of reevaluate things a lot.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I don't mind when games get delayed. I liked Far Cry 3 a lot. I still think 2 is probably a better game. Controversial opinion.
Nope, I feel the same way.
Oh, fuck yeah. High five.
Yeah.
I like when people agree with me. But no, Far Cry 6. Again, hopefully that they take this time again to re-examine it, to make some changes. And we'll get to see some cool shit coming out when it does drop. A new date is March 2021. Fingers crossed it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah, it's actually not March. It's after March. Like, it's just not coming
after March 2021. Okay, my bad. I misread it. Also, we got a look at some new news from PlayStation. PlayStation Plus is going to have Destruction All-Stars in February, which those of you who watched the podcast remember it was that game that we kind of shit talked about.
We don't really shit talk it. The problem is, which I think is why they're delaying the game, which is why it's coming to PlayStation Plus. That game, they're trying to sell it as a $70 game.
Yeah.
And it very much did not look like it should be $70, especially compare it to games that look like it's in the same genre, where like it looks like a Fortnite, and Fortnite's fucking free, and it looks like a Rocket League, and Rocket League free now? At least it's cheap. If it's not free, it's cheap. So when you see those games and you see this for $70, you're like, what am I getting for my 70? So
those of you who don't know, Destruction All-Star is like a vehicle game, because there's like vehicle combat. There's also some courses you could run through,
it's a vehicle game. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not a racing game. It's not a car combat game. It's a little bit of everything. Where the cars just get fucked up. The destruction physics look really cool. But those of you who remember, we were kind of joking around about it, that people were getting really excited that your character can like get out of their car and run around.
Yeah.
Like the top comment for the trailer still is the fact you're able to run around makes it a game changer. Like unironic, that's the top comment for this trailer.
But so they delayed it to February, and as part of that, it's going to be in PlayStation Plus in February, and also it'll be there for 2 months, so it'll be February and March.
Oh, there you go.
And then after that,
fun fact, if you have a PS5 by then, you can just go on to your PlayStation Network account on your computer or smartphone and add the game to your cart and buy it, quote unquote, for free, and then it's in your library.
Yeah. Which, well, I wonder if they're still gonna do that. Like maybe you have to have a PS5 registered on your account in order to claim it. Who knows? Who knows what they'll do with that? But hoping they don't do that.
Before, so yeah, fingers crossed they don't. But we'll see what happens. Next, we did get the PlayStation Plus collection details that's set to come out in November.
This is
this is a surprisingly because I think if you remember, there was like this PlayStation Plus like collection deal for PS5 where all these PS4 games are being available with your PS Plus subscription. They are still having PS Plus games for November. We're getting Bugsnax for PS5, which we covered a little bit a couple weeks ago. It's a really cool little like adventure game. The pun game, the pun game in that is fucking A+.
Yeah.
Like all bugs and critters are named after like bugs and foods. Beautiful. I love me some good puns, and that game's got them in spades.
New Jiraiya says in chat, fuck Sony, they are robbers.
Why are they robbers?
So okay, I don't know if you notice all the asterisks on this page. There's a lot of subtext here. 4 of them to be exact. Bugsnax, which is also coming to PS4. You don't get both versions. You only get the PS5 version and the PS Plus, which I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fucked up.
I agree, especially since like when the Vita was a thing. Remember back then?
Yeah.
If a game was playable on Vita and PS4, you got both versions.
Yeah.
So you could get like if you had a PS4 and a Vita, instead of getting the normal 2 games per system, you can get like 4 games on your PS4 if Vita had the Vita games are crossplay. It bums me out this isn't the case for this. It kind of pisses me off.
So it's only PS5 version of Bugsnax, and then I'm assuming only for PS4. See, I don't know how like the backwards compatibility works for this, but for PS4 you get Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Hollow Knight Voidheart edition.
Hollow Knight's a good game. Hollow Knight's a great game.
Yeah, they're both good games. Shadow of War is also good. It's just I don't know like how the backwards compatibility works for that. There's a lot of asterisks here on the page. So, okay, you do get those for PS5. It says available for PS4/PS5 owners in November with 4 asterisks on them.
Asterisks.
I'm not sure what the plural of asterisk is.
Being a dick.
But so the fine print here is that the PlayStation Plus collection, which they're also giving more information about here, is that only on PS5. Again, this doesn't trickle down the PS4 for whatever fucking reason. Only on PS5 you get 20 games that it's just all you can eat buffet of games while you're subscribed to PlayStation Plus.
It's a fucking lightning round. We got Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Infamous Second Son, Ratchet and Clank, Last Guardian, Last of Us Remastered, Until Dawn,
Uncharted 4, Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Black Ops 3, the Zombie Chronicles Edition, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, which weird, Mortal Kombat X, not 11, but whatever. Another thing weird, Persona 5, not Persona 5 Royal, but whatever. Resident Evil 7.
Here's the thing, man. These are all fucking PS4 games. Why is this a PS5 exclusive service?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't understand, Sony. Like, you're trying to force people into buying a PS5 to play PS4 games when if you give this service to PS4 owners, like even if they haven't played these games already, which if you haven't, then a PS5, like if you haven't played these games, either way, PS5 or PS4, you're gonna enjoy yourself. Like I don't understand why you're gonna force them to buy a PS5 to enjoy these games. It's ridiculous.
Weird to me to see that, like, especially since like most of these games have come out on PS Plus before. So it seems weird to me to be stingy now and just not release it on PS4 when it's totally doable. But whatever, man. Sony's gonna keep being Sony.
Yeah. So that's cool because in stark contrast.
Yep. Here comes Xbox in for the win with no bullshit.
Xbox Game Pass, they just announced another, 14 games.
3, 4, 5, 10, 14 games. You are right.
That's coming to Xbox Game Pass for Android console, both the new console and the current consoles, and PC. All coming to Game Pass.
Two of these games are Android only. Scourgebringer and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Those are only on Android. But everything, all other 12 games are either on Android, console, and PC, or console and PC.
I think those are already available.
Yeah.
The Android ones are already available.
Oh yeah.
But they're now coming to Android.
I mean, still, like most, if not all of them, are available on PC, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they're good games, dude. Like Celeste is a big one that stood out to me. Like that's
Celeste, phenomenal game.
Everyone keeps telling me I got a chance to try it. Yeah. Fucking Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4. If you're into that, I mean,
Deep Rock Galactic. I hear a lot of good things about.
And that just came out like this year, right?
Yeah, that just came out of early access this year.
Yeah, so that's a good one. East Shade, Arc, Day of the Tentacle remastered, Full Throttle remastered, Grim Fandango remastered, Knights and Bikes, which I've never heard of until I saw this, but it looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like there's some great games coming out here, dude, for Game Pass. And if you already have that subscription, you can fucking have at them all you can eat, dude. Like it's great.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing what Sony's trying to do. When like you compare it to this, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
So
Xbox does what PlayStation don't.
I mean, like I hate to shit on like Sony, but like there's a lot of people out there that are just buying a Sony because that's what they've had, that's what they've always had, that's what they know. So they're gonna just buy they're just gonna buy a PS5. But I'm telling you, reevaluate here because the value you're getting from Microsoft is just it does not compare.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since like here's where it's weird for us because we have a PC, so we can play most of these games with our Game Pass subscription already.
Yeah.
Granted, none of these are like PS or next gen exclusive games yet. That's what I want to wait to see how Xbox is going to handle, like, you know, their next gen exclusive.
Well, they've already said everything's coming to Game Pass day on launch. They've already said that.
Oh, there we go. So like Halo Infinite is coming out on launch. Whatever new Gears of War is in the pipeline is coming out on launch. That'll be cool to see. There's some great games in here, dude. Like this one, I don't know if you saw Unruly Heroes, looks freaking crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a Metroidvania beat 'em up based on like Journey to the West, which I'm into. Like there's some great games in here, and it's so funny to see like again in stark contrast to what Sony's doing.
It's like I don't know. It's embarrassing if you ask me. But
embarrassing.
look, if you want to buy a PS5, that's fine. But I don't know. I just want to raise awareness. You know, if you're not paying attention to what Xbox is doing,
yeah,
you should at least know that they care about you, even if you don't care about them.
And this is coming from like someone like me, for example, who's a Sony guy. I've been playing Sony forever. I don't own an Xbox. I own an Xbox 360. It's only because it's an R2D2 360. So I bought it because I like Star Wars. Listen to that. Yeah, that's why I bought it. I gotta turn it off now, so it's gonna make a bunch of noise. But that's why I bought that. That's the only Xbox I own. But seeing the stuff that Game Pass has and what Xbox is doing, I'm like, damn, maybe it might be time to switch, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. We also got a new look at some of the world and characters of Final Fantasy VI. PlayStation put up on their PlayStation blog some art for Final Fantasy 16, some new details about it, some details in the story and the world. I think I can say that we are both excited to see this game coming out, right? Like it looks
specifically really for me, because this looks like a Final Fantasy game. Like they're talking about mother crystals and like it seems more of like political turmoil rather than, oh no, the world is in danger. And like I like the more of the low stakes game of Final Fantasy more than the high stakes, oh, the world and your only hope type shit. That's why I like Final Fantasy 12. I think I like the most because it's more of like a political, it's more down to earth, it's more realistic. So yeah, this looks really cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm into it. We did get some confirmation. I know we were talking about like if Final Fantasy 16 is going to be rated M for mature. Spoiler alert, it is.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's really cool to see. I'm into this, dude. That the world here looks more realized than what Final Fantasy 15 was. Which
definitely.
Yeah, that was a rant I had a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to revisit that. We don't have the fucking time, but this looks like what Final Fantasy 15 should have been. And I'm really excited to see more about this. This might be worth picking up day one, dude. Like just based on what I've seen so far, I'm really into it.
I don't know about all that, but it definitely looks like it could be good.
It looks like it could be really good. Return to form for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I remember when a Final Fantasy game meant something. You know, I remember when a game came out, it was Final Fantasy number, it meant something.
Yeah.
And it's good to see it meaning something again. They added a ton of new features for Anthem, which to the two of you, they're still playing it. I'm sorry, man, but that game, fuck, like that. Within the first week it came out, it was down to like what, $20?
Yeah, I got it. I played it. You could play the entirety of the game for like almost free. It was on their subscription thing. That's how I played it.
Oh yeah. Like there's a lot to shit talk about this game. It is good to see though that they are changing the Javelin system, the mech that you're in, how to customize your loadout, play your builds. Yeah. I have a very detailed blog post here on the BioWare blog.
Looks a lot like Destiny. I mean, a lot like Destiny. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have systems that kind of differentiate themselves. The one thing that I liked was their skills, their skill tree sounds like, it looks like you can like specialize. Like once you get up to the ranks, you hit like a specialization arc. So like they're showing captain, longbow, and soldier, and then they show you like they're specializing in the longbow, and then they show what that looks like once you get in there. Like that looks really cool. I like having I like being able to develop my character the way for my play style. You
Not
know,
just that, diverse skill tree means like just because like you specialize in one type of javelin, someone else does too, doesn't mean you're going to play the same. You can have drastically different gameplay styles to suit different needs.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I hope they turn this game around, dude. I really do. I don't like seeing games fail. All the shit talking, the joking. I really hope this game gets turned around and becomes something special. I haven't played it yet, but if this game gets the No Man's Sky treatment and becomes something worth playing, I'll be the first in line to pick it up once they fix everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad that BioWare is like sticking to it. Clearly, the game wasn't ready to come out. Like obviously, blatantly obvious now, especially with how long they're spending on this now. But like, yeah, if No Man's Sky can have a cool comeback story, Final Fantasy 15 or not 15, 14, like it shows if you spend the time and care about your products, you can now it will always be like a besmirching, you know, you'll always be kind of spoiled by that rotten launch, but which is what I think Cyberpunk is trying to avoid with their launch.
Yeah, which is why I shit on them too much for delaying it. Because if you don't delay a game, Anthem happens, Vanilla Final Fantasy 14 happens, Vanilla No Man's Sky happens.
Yeah, and you get people who are still salty about the launch when they've turned it around, but they still, you know, they still don't want to touch it. So
I mean, we'll see. If they fix it, I'll be happy to see once they fix it.
Yeah.
And make something worth playing. In other news,
Cooking is Fun says, why didn't they wait then? Because Electronic Arts is the publisher, and they want their product out to make money. So that's pretty much why games get rushed like this.
Yep. So hopefully, you know, it gets turned around, man.
Yeah.
We also got so we've been criticizing Oculus Quest 2 with its forcing Facebook login. But now hackers have apparently jailbroken the Oculus Quest 2 and bypassed that forced Facebook login. Which, you know, let's give a round of applause. Like, good for you guys. Like fuck Facebook for doing this. There's no reason. We talked about this multiple times. There's no reason to have this in there. There's no reason at all to force you to log into Facebook to use that Oculus Quest. Especially since like most people already have like their own network either through Origin or Steam or whatever to communicate with their friends. There's no reason to make us log into our Facebook for that.
Yeah. Now the I guess sad thing about this is that they've discovered this flaw in the system. I don't know if it's a flaw, but they've discovered the vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
The problem they have, which I didn't realize until I looked more into this, the problem they have is releasing it. They said there's other researchers out there who have gained similar access and are unsure how to proceed without clear policies around the right to repair. There's this whole government legislation called right to repair. Is that if you buy a piece of hardware, you should have the right to do whatever you want with that piece of hardware. And I guess there's different laws around virtual reality headsets.
It's not just the hardware; it's the software that gets into it too.
Yeah.
The software is the tricky part. That there has to be a whole new legislation written for that to clean up some of the gray area and the non-specifications in it. But that's the part that's holding it back.
Yeah. So I like looked into this just a little bit. I was trying to find if the Oculus headset had any specific wording around, because I know Apple does this where it's like, no, if you try to fix your own iPhone, you done fucked up, your warranty is void. Like they fuck you when you try to like fuck with your Apple products. So I was wondering if like this had any similar wording around the Oculus, if they try to fuck you with that shit, but I couldn't find anything. But yeah, there's this whole initiative around the the XR Safety Initiative, the Extended Reality Safety Initiative, and the Right to Repair, DMCA stuff. Like, there's a lot of interesting information that's surrounding this and preventing these guys from releasing this to the public. So as of right now, you still can't. The public still can't do this, and they're trying to figure out how they can release this stuff to the public. It's really interesting stuff, but just know that they figured it out. It can be done. They're just trying to figure out what the next step should be. So,
which again, good for them. I
Yeah.
hope, because fuck that shit. There's no reason for that to be a thing.
yeah,
It's anti-consumer. It's anti-privacy. And it's just fucking annoying. Like, there's no reason for that to be there. I don't want to like use my Oculus Quest, play some porn game, and then have my mom see what I'm playing on Facebook. Fuck that. Like, joking aside, like that's a scary thought that someone can lock down a piece of hardware behind a Facebook login. Like, that is really scary to me. Can you imagine if any other? Well, most hardware does do that. When you get an iPhone, you need to make an Apple iTunes account to properly use it. When you get an Android, you need to make a Google account to properly use it.
But you can use it without doing that, though. That's the thing.
That's true.
I don't know about Apple, but I know you can use like your phone without Android without making an account. Even if you never intend, because with the Oculus, there is like the Facebook store for like downloading apps. But if you just want to use it with like Steam, the Steam account you already have, you can't do that. You can't use it at all without connecting it to a Facebook account. I think that's the problem.
What's frustrating is like they force you to use it, to turn it on and use it. You need to log into Facebook, whether you're using Facebook or not. So good. I hope like this gets taken care of, because I don't want to see that shit in my hardware. And other news, a game you probably never heard of, Gears Pop, shutting down April 26, 2021. Those of you are probably like, what's Gears Pop? It's like a mobile Gears of War spin-off partnership with Pop Figures. I actually looked at the gameplay because I remember this game got announced back in 2018, E3 2018.
Yeah.
And I never heard about it until they announced that it was shutting down. So I looked it up. This fucking game came out late August of last year. So it's barely been out for like a little over a year already at this point. Then to announce it's shutting down.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. I was like, oh, well, what is the world missing out on? It's a tower defense game with microtransactions.
Well, here's the thing, though. A lot of people don't know this, is that this is a Mediatonic joint, which, if you don't know that name, those are the guys that make Fallout, or Fall Guys, my bad.
Ooh, so, I didn't know.
They were probably working on this, and then like Fall Guys blew up, and they were like, we're gonna just go over there. So that's probably what's happening, is they're dropping this and just putting everything in Fall Guys.
Pure speculations. Like, don't get mad at Mediatonic if you're a huge Gears Pop fan. You're sad to see it shutting down. It's pure speculation. Keep in mind too, if it was Mediatonic pulling out of it, saying, hey, we're going to work on our stuff, our contract's over, Microsoft could have gotten anyone else to take over from them, but they didn't. So it's just as much Microsoft's fault as it is Mediatonic, if that is the case, that they pulled out.
I'm sure it just wasn't as popular or profitable as they would have liked it to be. So
yeah, I remember hearing it get announced, and I was like, oh, that might be interesting. And then I didn't hear anything about it till they announced it was getting shut down. So
yeah.
So that's a thing. If you're still playing the game, you can still play it. They did make some quality of life changes in the meantime. Rare gear is also easier to get. All their bounties and hordes are back up. So basically the game's running in overdrive until it shuts down. You can still play, level up your pins. You can still play everything as normal with faster quality of life stuff. But there will no longer be any in-game purchases, and refunds will be issued for all purchases made in the last 90 days. So, for those of you who are still playing it,
always weird. I always thought it was a weird crossover for Gears and Funko Pop. Like, you couldn't find any other thing that meshed better with that.
I mean, I'm sure someone said the same thing with the first Lego Star Wars game, and look how that turned out.
Yeah. Well, Lego is like universally, like, you could do Lego anything and that would be popular. Funko Pop, which is already kind of like a niche thing, and Gears, which is like hardcore fucking as fuck, like dude bro simulator, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I would argue that like pop figures aren't as niche. They're very like, how can I word it? They're very like surface level vanilla nerd culture products.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, how can I word it? It's like diet nerd culture. That's the guy who's like, I'm such a nerd, I collect like figures. It's like the diet version of that guy collects Funko Pops. So like it doesn't seem too out of the ordinary for me to see that happening.
Yeah.
But it's not surprising it didn't mesh well as people were hoping it would. We'll have to wait. Well, there's nothing to wait and see. The game's fucking shutting down. Maybe they'll have a new project, man. I doubt this is going to be Pop's like only like venture into video games, which is popular as they are, as much money as they make on those fucking figures. I doubt this is going to be their own. I doubt they're going to give up on video games with this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they try something else in the next couple of years. In trailers now, we got quite a few trailers, man. No Man's Sky got a new trailer for No Man's Sky Next Generation. It's a upgrade for PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. It is available free to existing owners of No Man's Sky. The game looks crazy, dude. Like when they showed it off, like graphically, it's impressive how much better it looks on these newer systems.
Yeah.
They also added some updates, 32-player multiplayer, and improved volumetrics, improved lighting, improved shadow effects. It's really cool how it looks, man. Hopefully, PSVR supports another cool thing that it has. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does the PC already have visuals like this?
Yeah.
It does? Okay, cool. So PC's already got it.
But I think there was some additional stuff like the multiplayer stuff, and I think that some of the additional stuff coming with this as well.
Yeah, which hopefully, if it comes, we get that on PC. There's nothing saying that in the trailer, but with how good No Man's Sky with how good these guys have been with No Man's Sky, I wouldn't be surprised if they added those to PC too. They don't outright say it. I would be surprised if they didn't.
I want to dive back into this, man, and just like
I want to try it for the first time, dude. Now that I see all the love it's getting.
You still haven't played it? You know it's on Game Pass, right?
It is. Oh shit! I'm downloading it right now.
It's good. It's a good game. It's just
I've heard it's good now. Like now that like they've updated it and it's not like.
I mean, it was always good. It always had a like foundation, a solid foundation. Like I put 60 hours into the original before they ever patched it.
You fucking lied. The game's $48 with Game Pass.
Oh well.
Oh, never mind. It's free to install. I'm dumb.
Oh.
I'm a fucking liar. I take it back. It looks good, dude, and it's cool to see them still supporting it. They didn't give up when the shit hit the fan. They kept working at it, and they have a pretty respectable game out now. Good for them. Kudos to them. We got a new gameplay trailer for the Demon's Souls remake on PS5. This game looks good. Like graphically,
fucking good.
Impressive. Like it looks really impressive. I was never a fan of the Dark Souls, Demon Souls games.
This is the only good one, so.
Okay, explain. What makes this one the good one?
It's
Versus-
more like it's like an in between Bloodborne and Dark Souls, where like Dark Souls is super defensive and Bloodborne's more offensive. This is like the in between. That's all I gotta say. I don't know. This was the only one that I like. Where it's more structured, I guess, than a Dark Souls, because Dark Souls was more open. It was like open world. This is more like level based, which is, I think it better suits this kind of game. Because if you're having trouble in a section of a level, you can just say, okay, I'm gonna try this level now, and you can just do it.
That's good. Okay, so that might be worth looking into then. Graphically, the game looks really pretty. I'm like impressed with how good this game looks.
Yeah, if you compare this to the original, I mean, I don't even like, I remember this fight in the original, but not like this.
Yeah, I've looked up the original and it looks like dog shit in comparison to this game. I mean,
Yeah.
The Dark Souls games early on never really looked that good anyway, so, hard to... Even for the time they came out, they weren't graphically that impressive.
Yeah.
So it is really cool to see, like, this game coming out looking as good as it does. I'm kind of excited to see this come out, dude. Like, I want to see what this looks like. I know a lot of people are excited for it, too. So it'll be really cool to see how this game does. It's probably going to do well. I mean, all the Dark Souls games do pretty well.
Yeah. Well, this game's $70, by the way, so
there we go.
That is a 7-0.
We also got the trailer for Hyrule Warriors, which we talked over. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity looks really cool. I like seeing Divine Beasts being playable in the game. It looks dope, dude. Like, every time, again, I know I said it already, but every time I see more trailers on this game, I get more and more excited.
Yeah, it makes me not want to watch trailers. I mean, like, I've been not watching the Cyberpunk stuff, and I feel like I don't know what the game is, and I'm glad I don't.
You just know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Apex Legends has a new trailer for Season 7. The Ascension launch trailer. I still have yet to play Apex Legends. But what I've been told, it's not going to be my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan of Battle Royales, dude. Like,
it's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, okay. I might try it then. We'll have to wait and see.
It's more of a it's more of a shooter than
a Battle Royale. Okay.
Yeah. It's a shooter with a bunch of people in it.
That might be worth checking.
Thinking of it as like PlanetSide. Like, PlanetSide was like an MMO shooter, kind of, but it was like a PvP MMO shooter. Yeah. It's kind of like this is more of a light version of that, where it's like round based, but I don't know. I like to shoot. The shooting is good.
Yeah. And then Destiny 2's Beyond Light trailer, which I confirm when I heard this trailer, I thought I heard Painted Black in the background.
Yeah.
That is definitely Painted Black.
It's a cover of Painted Black. Actually, the guy who did the song, he put the song up on YouTube like a year ago, and no one knew it existed until like 2 days ago when this trailer went up. Which is funny.
Well, it matches the trailer for sure.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
Yeah, it's a good cover. I'm not a huge fan of Destiny, so I'm like so out of like
this trailer doesn't do it for you, because I thought this was a really good fucking trailer.
It looks cool, man. Like, I don't know if it's enough to make me go back.
Destiny's like, it's a good game, man. I don't know why people are so sour on it now. It's a good game.
Is it worth getting someone who, like, I haven't played Destiny 2 yet.
It's free to play. It's free to play.
Content Destiny 1. Like, is it really still worth playing now? Getting all the expansions?
It's free to play. Like, you can play it and have a bunch of content and then you can make the decision. Hey, I want more, so I'm gonna get these expansions. Like it's
I'll check it out.
Cooking is fun said, coming from the person who said that Destiny lacks content. Yeah, it did. They fixed it. It's fucking got an overwhelming amount of content now. Like, it's fucking dripping with content. And here's more of it right here.
That you need to pay for.
Yeah, you pay for it because it's good now. It's good now.
All right.
Like I want to pay for it. I will willingly pay for this because it's good now.
All right. I'll take your word for
it. The raid I did, the raids in this game, by the way, are so fucking good. So fucking good. The raids, the single best experience I've ever had playing an FPS game, probably ever. Like those raids are worth it entirely. Incredible. Yeah, I'm excited for this, man. Cooking is fun. So I paid the original price for it. Why should I pay extra? It's called an expansion. I don't know if you know what an expansion is, but it expands on the content. You don't have to pay for it. You can continue playing the game for whatever you paid. You won't get Beyond Light, but I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and defend Destiny, okay? I'm just saying it's good now. Like, they've turned it around. So, you know, even if you don't buy this, there's still a bunch of free content that they put into the game that you can just do. You can just do it and play it. And there's a bunch of stuff in there you can just eat up.
I'll have to check it out then. Now that it's free to play, I think I'll go check out the free to play version. If I like it, buy into the expansions as I go.
Yeah.
We also got, speaking of which, we got a new trailer for Bugsnax, which we did talk about a little while earlier as it's coming out on PS Plus. The game still looks charming as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
The game's adorable. It's really charming. The creature designs are all based off like animal, like bug creature hybrids. And there are some fucking great names here, dude. Like not all of them are winners. Like there's this like the spider fry thing called a Frider. I like that one. There's this like buffalo chicken locust called a buffalo locust. There's a praying mantis, like there's this praying mantis burrito Mexican food creature called a praying picantis that I like.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. There's some pretty good ones in here. Not all of them are great. Pineantula. A pineapple. Oh, there's some good ones here. There's some really good ones here. Shishka bug. That's another one that's really good.
Yeah.
There's some good ones.
Is also coming to PC and it's also coming to PS4. So this is not exclusive to PS5, despite them trying to make it seem that way.
Yeah. It looks really interesting. It's a cute little like. It looks like it's weird. It's like a base building, like bug catching survival with a question mark game.
Yeah, not totally sure. It reminds me of the Viva Pinata games a little bit.
A lot like Viva Pinata. But I'm into it, dude. It looks super interesting. It's really cute and funny. I like it. They
got Caro Benito to do the theme song, which is awesome.
I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is?
Oh, no, you shouldn't.
Oh.
Not surprised.
What is that supposed to be? Fuck you.
I mean, did you listen to Travis Scott?
I did not listen to Travis Scott.
See, you're fucking
I'm
up.
sorry. Dude. I was dealing with shit. I will listen to Travis Scott today, though. Maybe. We'll see how I feel. I got a kid's party to go to. I don't know if Travis Scott is appropriate for children.
Oh, you'd be surprised. They already know who he is.
the game looks cool. I'm definitely gonna check it out. What else we got? We got Katamari Damacy Reroll, which is like a remaster of Katamari Damacy.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, never played a Katamari game in my life.
Man, what do you live under a rock?
Yeah, I live under a rock. I got the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Yeah. I know your jokes, Wasabi. But I haven't played them. I've always wanted to. They seem like interesting games I want to try. This looks like more or less like it's Katamari, man. If you played Katamari Damacy, this is it on current gen systems with high definition graphics. It looks cool. I mean, Katamari's always been like a really fun, crazy game. Those of you who already played it are probably like pre-ordering this or figuring out when it comes out. Those of you who haven't, I would recommend looking into it. I've always wanted to try them, and I'll probably pick it up with this new re-release.
Yeah, I mean, it's already on Steam and Switch.
Oh yeah,
that's for a while. Yeah, this is just the real console announcements. But yeah.
Oh, we got a trailer for Subnautica Below Zero: Relics of the Past update. Which, what the fuck am I looking at? Wasn't Subnautica like a roguelite?
No, it's an underwater survival game.
Okay, I thought it was a roguelike for some reason. I don't know why.
No.
This looks like crazy, dude. Like, what am I looking at?
Have you never seen Subnautica?
I saw
you thought it was a roguelike.
Yeah, so that's why I saw like a little gameplay of it. I thought it was a roguelike for the longest time. I didn't know it was like a story-driven survival game.
Yeah.
Like, this looks cool. I would fuck with this. I fucks with this.
Yeah, I would say this is a lot more story than the game's ever had.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There were not other characters in the game before. From my knowledge, I've not played a ton of it, but this looks fucking crazy.
It does look crazy, and I kind of want to check it out. It might be worth looking into now. We'll have to wait and see. This is one I really want to talk about. Sector's Edge. I've never heard of this game until I saw the trailer, but it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's an FPS with a fully destructible environment. And I'm talking like completely destructible. Everything's voxel based. But stuff falls apart and breaks so beautifully, dude. And it's not just like you can break through shit, but also like if you break like supporting structures, whole buildings can come down. The gunplay looks really fast and fun. Like I think I would play this game and I would have fun with it.
Yeah. That was the thing I kind of wanted from Fortnite, because in Fortnite, if you like tear a house down, it just fucking floats.
Yeah. They got that Minecraft logic for structural gravity.
Yeah.
But this game looks cool. It just came out yesterday and it's free to play on Steam.
Oh.
So there'd be another one that's worth checking out, dude. I wish I can play it, but I got a fucking kids party to go to.
Yeah, I will check this out.
Joking aside, I love this kid, so it'll be fun to go see him. But I'll definitely download it. I'll definitely download it and check it out on my next day off. We should stream it. That seems like it might be a fun game to stream.
Yeah.
Then next game, we have the Dungeon Experience.
Which
looks so funny. I love the first screen, the first 3 seconds in when you see that wizard. He's got like a fucking M16 right behind him. A bowling ball. Like, what is this? That was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect when I pulled this up. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, it's just another like roguelike. No, this is something entirely different.
It is so funny. The gimmick is that it's like a dungeon run by a level 1 mud crab, which is like a low level creature. It looks so funny, dude. Like I'm really into the humor of this game.
Yeah.
I love like a minute in when he talks to that table guy and he's like, "Hey, you don't need to talk to me, dude. I'm just a table."
Yeah.
It's so weird. There's that scene early on, like 10 seconds in, when he talks like that skull. And the skull's just like, wah. Like, it makes me laugh. Like, I really like the humor of this game. It's jiving with me pretty well.
Yeah, I like dumb stuff.
Yeah.
It's why I have like bad taste in movies, because I like objectively bad movies, but I find them funny.
This is like Adult Swim humor, like at its most concentrated, I think. Well, not most. It's kind of vanilla Adult Swim humor, but I'm into it, dude. It looks really funny. It looks really funny. I definitely want to check this out. And I still don't really know too much about it. Like, it looks like it's a VR game, so it's one of those like VR experiences. But I don't think it needs to be played in VR, does it?
The Steam page would tell you. Take a look.
Have you read the release date for the game in the Steam page?
Yeah, it says, upon the 4 moons of Zagras align and the Messiah Kidris returns. Publisher, a man I once met in the forest. Wait a minute, wait. A man I once met in the forest. He put his finger to my lips to shush me and then gave me the budget for the game. Okay, this is going on the wish list.
Oh my god, same, dude. Same. This is amazing. Oh my god. This game is like right up my alley in terms of humor, dude. I'm into it. Oh
Yeah.
god, I love this.
That's the Dungeon Experience on Steam. Check that out.
According to defining tags, it's tagged as adventure, indie, surreal, comedy, story rich, similar to games I've played, Stanley Parable.
And
I guess
Firewatch.
it's not a VR game because I'm not seeing any VR support. I think I just made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what system requirements? VR is nowhere on here. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check this out. Where the fuck did you find this game, dude?
I don't remember. I told you, I just look at the hot stuff, and this was up in the hot stuff, so.
Well, I'm glad you found it because I'm into it.
Yeah.
Moving on to game releases, that Bakugan game I talked about is coming out November 3rd, alongside Jurassic World Evolution Complete Edition, which came out a couple years ago already on PS4, Xbox One, but now it's coming out on Switch. We also have Soldner X2 Final Prototype Definitive Edition coming out on PS4. It's a side-scrolling shooter ship game. Came out on PS3 back like 2010. We're going to be seeing that coming out PS4. If you're into like, bullet hell shooters, might be worth looking into, man.
Yeah.
Coming out November 6th, we have Descenders coming out on Nintendo Switch, which I never heard of until I looked at the trailer for it. Game doesn't look bad. Dude. It's Have you seen it yet, Descenders?
It's already on Xbox, and I think it is on Game Pass as well already. It's like a mountain biking game, like a downhill mountain biking game, almost like Trials.
Very similar to it. It's 3D, so the camera follows like behind a traditional biking game.
Yeah.
It looks cool, dude. Like, it looks like a lot of fun. I think I might need to check this game out. I might check it out. I'm not gonna lie. We also have Dirt 5 coming out November 6th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That game is set to be available for the 9th generation of systems as well. So PS5, Xbox Series X will have a version of that game too. Whenever that decides to happen. Actually, it's coming out release for both.
It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So that's cool to see. We got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. I know you were excited for this one.
Yeah, yes. Well, I'm excited for if they do Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Hot Pursuit was like the step before this, so yeah. I'll probably grab it and check it out though.
Yeah.
But
That'll be cool then. That'll be cool to see. We also got Tropico 6 coming out Switch, which we talked about already. Looks pretty rough, dude. Looks super rough.
I want to see the price for that. Let me look that up.
Yeah, do it.
Cause yeah, I'm skeptical. Also, this game's already old, so if that's a 60, you're getting fucked. Okay, it's 45. Well, it's at discount right now. It's 50.
Yeah, it's 50. Look at the Amazon page for the physical copy. It is $50.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean,
yeah.
Oof. Big oof.
A Switch tax, man.
Yeah, man. Gotta pay the Switch tax. Yeah, that's it for our podcast, man. That was fun. We talked about a lot of stuff. You got any projects coming up, Sabi, you want to tell the people about?
Yeah, Extra Life. We're doing a marathon for Extra Life 2020. This is our 7th year in a row doing Extra Life. That will be we'll be doing that on Monday, November 9th. Is that the day?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Monday, November 9th, doing a full 24. Might even do double. You know, we'll see how we feel at the end of that. But you know, if people show up and we get you know, they don't allow me to fall asleep, then yeah, we can go as long as possible. But
yeah, man, I gotta work Monday, so I'll be working that day. But I'll definitely come in after work, check out the stream. Maybe we can play some games too.
Yeah.
I don't work the day after, so I can be up pretty late Monday with you. It'll be cool.
So yeah, so we'll be doing that on Monday. I got the update to Visage. So I'm gonna load that up and see if it fixes the problem I had, and if it doesn't, then I will be uninstalling that game. And if it does, then we'll stream it. Cooking is Fun is asking if we're gonna stream after this. Probably not, or if I do, probably not until later. I gotta edit this and upload it, so I would like to do that like ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. Shout Sean Connery, shout Stankonia, and yeah, just stay safe.
Yep.
Everybody. And
Everyone be careful. Check for razor blades in your candy.
Yeah, check for the razor blades. Is that like a rumor?
Yeah, it's never happened.
Okay, I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's good to like.
My cousin, though, he got a Snickers bar and he found like an AK-47 in it. So be careful out there.
Oh yeah, always a cousins, huh? My uncle works for Nintendo, so.
But thank you for coming. Sabi, thanks again for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.